Good Sunday morning, everyone. I have a short yoga practice for you that will just kind of get you warmed up and nice entry into your day. It is probably not a beginner level, maybe more like a level 2 or so. And we'll be doing some sun salutations and just kind of wake up all the muscles throughout the body and get your day started right. So start by just sitting or lying back on your mat. Let your eyes close and we'll practice our 4-part breath, or sometimes called box breathing. Start by inhaling nice and deep, maybe counting to 4, 5, or 6. And pause at the top for 1, 2, 3, and then exhale again, nice long counts, 4 to 6. Let all the air out, all that air in the bottom of your lungs that's been hanging out there all night. And just keep repeating your box breathing or your 4-part breath work, where we draw in a deep breath and we pause at the top. And we release that breath entirely and then just do a little pause at the bottom. Let your minds be free to set aside any busy thoughts. Just put those off on the side. Try to find your present moment. Just be present right where you're at. Be aware. Following the breath work helps with that awareness. It helps to focus. It helps to do poses in a more safe manner. So take your time in just bringing your mind right here onto the mat. Continuing with your longer inhales and the pause and the exhale. And then give yourself, how about 3 thoughts of gratitude? Find 3 different things that you can be grateful for today. Just focus on those 3 things for a moment. Take a few more breaths, and we'll start to move into a more physical part of our practice. So as you're seated, maybe just opening your eyes for a moment. Let's just warm up our bodies a little bit first, starting with our head, neck, and shoulders. So reaching, let's just walk the left fingertips out a little ways, and then give a drop of your ear to the opposite shoulder. And then drop your chin down, and then drop your ear to the other side. Let's go right back over again. Ear to the opposite shoulder, chin comes down, and ear to the opposite side. Let's do that on the other side. Walk the right fingers out a little ways, and then drop your ear off to the left, chin comes down, and then drop your ear to the right, and right back over again to the left, and down, and to the right, and back up. Take your arms up. Let's do a big inhale, reach up, and on the exhale, turn off to your right side. Just a little easy spinal twist, reaching up again. Inhale. Exhale down to the left. Move with your breath. Inhaling up and exhaling, little easy twists. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Helps warm our body up. And when you've done an equal number on each side, let's come into a cat-cow. So your tabletop position. Hands are right beneath elbows, elbows right beneath shoulders. Toes can be tucked under, or you can have your feet flat on the mat. And keeping a nice neutral spine, so your curves of your back are honored, but we're not letting our head hang. This is our good tabletop pose right here. It's a good foundational pose. Let's inhale, look up, let your tailbone reach up for your cow. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone for cat. Exhaling, inhale up. And exhale, round the back. Inhaling up again. And exhale, round your back. And we'll start to bring some movement. So drawing some circles around our wrists. Warm up the wrists a little bit. And then go the other way. And let's find our first down dog. Turn your toes under, rise up with your hips. Let your hands grip the mat, mostly in the fingertips and the insides of your thumbs, your hands. So nice and firm. The inside of your forearm is rotating inward. Your biceps are rotating outward. Nice and wide across the collarbone. Bend the knees a little, hover them. Hips come down a little, and then push your belly back to the knees. Rise up with your hips again. Feel how you got deeper into that pose. And pedal out those feet a little bit. Walk your dog. Bring some movement up on the toes maybe. Maybe windshield wiper side to side a little bit. Reaching back. One more thing you can do, staying in your down dog, that's a nice little tweak, is to bend your elbows out a little bit, push your chest back, and then unbend them. Feel how you maybe got a little broader across your collarbone. Let's go ahead and come down onto our knees and then into plank, lowering down, chaturanga. Elbows are in close all the way down, coming up into a little cobra, pushing back again, like into a child's pose, exhaling. Inhale, coming up again to modified plank. Exhale, we lower, up into a little cobra, just a mini one. Exhale, back into your child's pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, forward, modified plank. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, up. And exhale. This time, let's push back into our down dog again. Exhale and release. Find your deeper breath again. Loosen up around your face, your jawbone. Maybe smile a little. Inhale, come forward into plank this time and just pause right there. Exhale, back into down dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. This time lowering, elbows are in close, chaturanga, hover, hover, hover. Exhale, lower, come into a Sphinx pose. So in this pose, we're on our forearms, and just kind of scoot one leg back a little, and then the other leg back a little. Draw your chest forward, maybe grow a little taller, and you should be able to feel that nice back bend. And we're gonna go ahead and drop our chin in our Sphinx pose for a little stretch of the back of the neck. So just drop your chin down, tuck your chin, find your breath. And then go into a few circles across one shoulder, down with the chin, over to the other shoulder, and then back across. And the other way. Really pushing down with your elbows so that we're not letting our back cave in. We're staying really strong across the back, across the shoulders, through the neck. Let's go ahead and look up. Take your hands and draw them back like you're going to push up and go right into your down dog again. Couple breaths here. Find your good positioning. Broad across the collarbone. And this time we'll inhale up. Let's start with our right leg. Inhale that right leg up, and then step through, grab it, help it if you need to. Step your foot through, and we'll start with a low lunge. So dropping your back knee down, coming up on fingertips for a moment, and then inhale. I'm gonna circle my arms back and around. You can go whichever way you like. Inhale, arms up, and then reach forward, back up and around again. Let's warm up those shoulders. Reach forward, back and around. And this time planting our hands along either side of that front foot, stepping back into plank. Inhale forward slightly, exhale we lower in chaturanga. Inhale up, up dog or cobra. Exhale back to your down dog. Take a couple breaths. Inhale, left leg up. And on the exhale, we step through. Drop the back knee. This time, let's inhale, arms up. And then exhale, cactus arms. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhaling up. And exhale, cactus. And release. Planting our hands, we're going to step forward to the front of the mat. Look up halfway. Hands slide up the shins, nice strong back. Exhale, sink and fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come up. And on the exhale, let's draw those hands down to our heart. And let's fold all the way. Have nice knee bends if you like. You don't have to have straight legs. Inhale up halfway with that flat back again. Exhale, we plant our hands. Step back into plank. And from here, we're going to come forward on our toes again. Exhale, lower in your chaturanga. Inhale up, up dog. And then exhale back to down dog. Inhale that right leg up. Exhale, stepping between our hands. High lunge. You can always modify if you'd like. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands come together. Prayer, and we twist off to the right. Pressing back with the left foot and yet drawing the left hip forward a little. Right hip kind of comes back a little bit. Squaring up those hips. Try to twist a little deeper on the exhale. Go a little longer on the inhale. Release hands down. We'll run through a little vinyasa again. Step back plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale to down dog. Inhale up with the left foot. Step through on the exhale. High lunge again. Reach up. Find your prayer hands. Let's twist off to the left. Pushing back with the right foot. And yet the right hip comes forward a little. Left hip goes back, squaring up. Release, both hands come down. We step to the front of the mat, flat back. Exhale, sink and fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come up. Exhale, prayer hands all the way down, folding. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands. Let's go back with the right foot again first. Inhale, arms come up. And on the exhale, we're just going to bend that back knee. Inhale up. Exhale, drop. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do two more. Inhaling up. Exhale, we lower. Inhale up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Run through our vinyasa. Step back into plank. Exhale, lower. Inhaling up. And exhale back to your down dog. Let's inhale up. The opposite leg, your right leg. Step between your hands again. And same thing, we'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend that back knee, we lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, we lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lowering. Let's do one more. Inhale up. Exhale, we lower. Both hands frame that front foot. Let's step forward. Inhale as you look up halfway. Exhale, sink and fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, big arms. And exhale, hands come together. We bow down, folding. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, planting your hands. Let's step back with the left foot first, then the right. Mix things up. Hang out here in plank for a moment. Take a few breaths. Let's start with our right hand. We're going to lower onto the right forearm and then the left forearm. A couple breaths right here. Really grounding down through the elbows. Stay strong through the shoulders, the neck. Let's take that right hand, come up. Left hand, come up. Place the left hand right under, kind of beneath your face. And let's turn for a side plank. Now you can lower your knee for a little more stability, reaching up. Otherwise you can stack your feet, rising up with the hips. And let's switch sides, placing the right hand beneath your face, rise up. Both hands, lowering in chaturanga. Inhale, come up into cobra. A nice deep cobra this time. Roll your shoulders back and down. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Holding this one a little longer. Let's wake the back up a little more. And release, pushing back into a child's pose. Taking 3 or 4 breaths in your child's pose. So just sinking down. Nice wide knees, feels good. And as you're in your child's pose, breathe into the back side of your lungs. Feel the space. And maybe pulsing a few thoughts of gratitude again. And child's pose is such a great pose to do that in. It feels kind of humbling. We're bowing down. And then make your way back up as soon as you're ready into your down dog again. Take a few breaths. Let's rise up with the right foot. Lift that foot up high. Draw your knee towards your nose. Inhale the leg back up. Draw the knee towards the opposite elbow. Inhale back up again. And this time towards the same elbow. And then lower your foot so we're coming right into pigeon. Walk the other foot back, your left foot back. And you can hang out in your pigeon right here, or you can lower to forearms. If you have a block handy, it's really nice to even lower your forehead onto your block. Let's hang out in pigeon for several breaths. Let's really get into the deep tissue. So good for your hips, especially you runners, bikers, and desk sitters. On your hands, we'll do a little quad stretch before we move on. You can stretch that left quad just by drawing your heel towards your bum, or you can reach opposite hand around and give a little touch on the ankle. If you have a block, such a good tool to get a little higher, get a little more accessible. Find those deep breaths again. If you're clenching your teeth at all, lighten up. Smile. And release. Make your way back into down dog. And when you're ready, inhale up, Left leg goes up this time. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and away. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow. Up and away again. Exhale, knee to the same elbow. Hover, and then set that leg down. Walking back with the right foot. Moving into pigeon on this side, again for several breaths, 5 to 10 breaths. So, staying up on your hands or coming on forearms, or again, if you want to rest your head on the mat or a block, remembering to keep bringing in those good deep breaths and exhaling completely. Keeping your body weight over the middle of the mat, the midline. Noticing too, if you shift your right hip forward slightly and your left hip back a little bit, you can feel that the pose goes a little deeper. And then come on up again. Let's get the quad stretch in. Using the block if you'd like, drawing the heel towards the bum, and maybe reaching around opposite hand. A nice big stretch. Your legs should be fairly warm, so you can stretch the muscle pretty well without hurting anything. But if you feel a little cold yet, then just don't push it too hard. To do your poses like Goldilocks, just right, just what you need. Don't compete with your mind. Go ahead and let that go. Set that block aside and go back into your down dog. Walk out your legs a little bit. Maybe let's windshield wiper side to side. Your hips have been very good to you. And we'll move into some warriors. Let's inhale up, starting with the right leg. Exhale, step between your hands, plant that back heel at an angle so that back arch intersects with your front heel. And we'll inhale, arms up into warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, front arm comes up and over. Exhale, extended side angle, let that front arm rest. Back arm comes up and over. Back into your peaceful or reverse warrior. Exhale, into triangle pose, front leg straightens. Right arm reaches down, left arm up. Let's hold right here. Breathing. And using your core, let's come all the way up into warrior two. Bend that front leg. Take the hands back behind you, clasp them, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And let's forward fold on the inside of our right leg. Humble warrior, holding here. Release your hands down, walk around to the long side of your mat. Let your toes point to the opposite corners of the mat. Prasarita, and we will fold deeply. Again, a block might be kind of fun to come down and rest your head on at whichever height. If you go a little wider with your legs, you can fold a little more easily. And if you want to reach, grab the ankles or hands behind your clasp behind your back. Or just hanging out in your inversion. It's like a cup of coffee for the brain, just letting the dopamine kind of run to your head. Coming up on our hands, just lunging from side to side. Next time you come to the front of your mat, turn your toes towards the front, walk your hands around, step back into a down dog. You can run through a vinyasa if you would like. Meet in down dog. And let's do this on the opposite side. Rise up, left leg. Step between your hands as we exhale. Drop the back heel for your warrior stance. Inhale, both arms come up, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, straighten that front leg. We go into our triangle pose, Trikonasana. Block is always a good friend again for triangle pose. Helps you keep some space, especially if you're short like me and you don't have a lot of length between your waist and your shoulder. And let's release, bending that front leg, coming up into warrior two again. Find your stance. And let's take the hands back. Clasp opposite finger in front. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Bow down, humble warrior in the inside of our left leg. Releasing both hands down, walking around for Prasarita on the opposite side of your mat. So toes are pointing in the opposite direction again. And we fold forward. Widen your stance if you'd like. Simply folding or clasping hands behind you. Releasing our hands right underneath us and side to side. Lunge forward and back. Next time you come forward, let's walk our hands around, frame that front foot, and step back into your down dog. Looking forward, let's just walk to the front of the mat. Look up halfway, nice strong back. Exhale, sink and fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. All the way up. Exhale, let's close the pose, hands at heart center. Just let your eyes close for a moment. Notice your strong legs as you create a strong foundation under your feet, the balls of the foot, the heels. Drawing the knees upward but not locking them. Belly button draws back. Just a little mini standing Shavasana. And let's move into a little bit of balance. Starting on our right leg, let's raise the left knee up. I'm just holding it for a moment. And what I would invite you to do is to really focus on that right hip. If it's relaxed and kind of going out, grow tall, grow really tall. Hanging out with that knee raised. I'm going to tip forward into warrior three. So just start to let the raised leg go back, extending. In your warrior three, you can keep your hands at heart center or reach out in front of you. And draw that same leg back up again. And go ahead and set that foot down. Walk it out a little bit. And let's go on the opposite side. Ground down with that left leg. Grow tall. Don't let that hip relax out. Stay tall and strong, building the muscle around the hip. Rise up with the right knee. And give yourself permission to fall in and out of the pose. It's balance, it's work. Sometimes we're stronger on one side than the other with our balance. And let's start to think about moving into Warrior 3. Extend that leg back behind you, tipping forward. Toes are pointed down, trying to square your hips up to the floor. Keeping hands at heart center or reaching out in front. And don't beat yourself up if that leg doesn't want to go all the way up. Just even standing with the toes raised a few inches off the mat is fine. You're working it. We're going to go right down to the floor, but in garland pose, so a little wider stance. Hands at heart center, knees go outward, and we come all the way down. Now, for some of us, we are not as flexible, and it might be a little harder, so you might want to sit on a block, or even 2 blocks. Still getting that stretch in your legs. Do what works for you. There's no right or wrong as far as whether or not you use blocks. They're such a great tool. As you're in your garland pose, use your arms to kind of push out a little on your legs for a deeper stretch. Those of you who want to can go into crow. I'm not going to today because I'm really hot and my hands are sweaty, and I think I would wipe out on my mat. It'd be a good yoga blooper for the rest of you, but I don't think it would feel too good. Just find your breath. And then let's come all the way down into a seated pose. And just do a couple things for our shoulders, and then we'll wind down and end with Shavasana. So let's just start just an easy seated pose. However, whatever's comfortable. Again, sit on a block if you'd like. And all we're going to do is some eagle arms or a version of it just for our shoulders. Let's start with the left arm under, right arm on top. And if you can, try to get your palms together. If you can't, still do the twist, still do that lock, and just get what you can. You know, maybe it's a thumb to a pinky or something. And then I want you to just reach away with your elbows till you feel that beautiful, awesome stretch across your back. And let's just kind of pulse up a little bit and lower. The whole time we have this outward motion with our elbows. And release, shake that out a little. This time the right arm comes under, left arm over, and same thing, wherever you can get to. Again, if it's just locking a pinky and a thumb, you just want to have that crisscross. Hugging your shoulders is another option. Reach away with your elbows and just kind of little pulses up. Find your breath again. Remind yourself you're right here, you're practicing yoga, you're taking care of your body. Everything else can wait. And release. Do some shoulder circles. And exaggerate them. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and go the other way. Make your way down onto your back, lowering all the way down. If you want to hug your knees a little bit or do some happy baby, Just take a moment, treat your body. And then open your arms up out in a T. Let's draw the knees together. And then we'll roll them off to the left. Let your gaze come off to the right. Nice easy twist for your back. And release, draw the knees up, use your core muscles and lower them off to the other side. Gaze in the opposite direction again. Your hips are stacked, shoulders on the mat. Releasing, drawing the knees up again. And we'll move into our final relaxation, Shavasana. So if you need to grab something, a blanket or something that makes you comfortable, a cushion to go under your knees, do that, and then find your way back down onto the mat. If you want, you can do the constructed rest by having your knees together and rolling back, or find a wall for legs up against the wall. And then just let your palms fall open. That rolls your shoulders out. Maybe even draw one shoulder blade in and then the other for a pocket of air under your heart. Let yourself relax. Let your breath just return to normal. No forcing anything. Clearing our minds. Letting our body absorb now all that you have done for it. Let your mind take a break for a few more minutes. And just relax until you're ready to come out of your Shavasana. You can stay in your Shavasana, or if you'd like, roll to one side. Find your way back up slowly into a seated pose. Thank you for practicing with me.